Welcome to the Fayetteville Fire Podcast, your source for all the safety, fire, and sometimes random information you never knew you wanted. I'm Captain Steve Shakeshaft, your host for the podcast, and I got the best job ever. Let's talk about it. How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Going good. How about yourself?
Oh, it's a good day to be in the city of Fayetteville. Sorry, there's my little pitch.
Always gotta have one.
I hear you. So, hey, man, welcome to the podcast. You joined us on the fire truck a couple few weeks ago.
I sure did.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? What you doing?
My name is Bryson Thomas. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I've been here pretty much my whole life. I'm doing pretty good. Just about graduated high school. Getting ready to transition from high school into the fire service for full time.
Okay.
Looking to get on Fayetteville, of course. But other than that, I've just been studying, getting all my schoolwork done, making sure that I can just meet those last little requirements to get out of the high school that I've been in for 4 years now. So
when do you officially finish?
So June 3rd is whenever I'll fully be released from the grasp of high school and be able to leave it behind.
I know you don't believe me, but you're gonna miss it.
I know I'm gonna miss it. Trust me, I know I'm gonna miss it, but I'm definitely ready for it to be over. If that makes any sense. I know I enjoyed my time there, but it's time to move on for sure.
And
ready to make some money.
And a good part of that time there was spent over here with Miss Patty Strahan. Tell us about you.
I'm Patty Strahan. I work at E.E. Smith High School. I'm the director of the Cumberland County Schools Fire Academy, which is Mr. Bryson is a part of. Just graduated from on May 8th. We certify firefighters and send them off to the real world. Hopefully we'll get more in. And since we've added the ride-alongs, I think they're getting to see an opportunity of what each station gets to do, and what their specialties are. Some want to do the rescue. Haven't quite made it with the hazmat yet, but we're pushing it. So I think they're definitely seeing the different parts of the fire service. I would like to see them get into the business side of it and see how it's run from the top also.
Yeah.
So they could see that it is a business.
Yep.
And we need to function as a business, and they need to know from the top to the bottom.
Yeah. I've worked harder in the last 5 years on admin than I did in the first 15 on a fire truck. The business side of it it's a lot. It's a lot. But you might not know this, but I've known Miss Patty since I was probably a year or two older than you. So we go way back.
Oh, wow.
back to when the fire service, the fire academy really kicked off. You were still an active firefighter with us back then, between different departments around. But yeah, so if you stick around and you have opportunities like Patty's had in the school system to teach people and opportunities if you come work for us. So got me and you will talk offline for sure about
Absolutely.
getting me in the door. But yeah, so tell me a little bit about the Fire Academy from the student's perspective. What kind of stuff have you experienced? The good, the bad, the ugly?
Yeah, of course. It was overall an amazing experience. Don't regret it. I don't look back on one time in that Fire Academy where I didn't enjoy the class. Obviously, there were moments where, I was struggling with hazmat. Hazmat was probably the one part of the whole Fire Academy where I really, came down on myself for a good minute there, stressing. I was at my job, taking time, getting paid, studying. That's what I was doing. I was in the back while my coworkers were struggling up front studying for this hazmat test.
You just told on yourself, bud.
That's okay. They already know. I told them, I was like, y'all need me up there? They're like, no, I'm good. I was like, okay, I'm staying up here.
Yeah.
But overall, it was great. We took a lot of field trips. We do a lot of hands-on, go to different Fayetteville fire stations. Like, for example, during the hazmat, we went to Station 1 and Station 17, right? Station 17. Got to see Station 17's new truck before anything got put on it, so it was all completely empty, and got to do a whole decon process and look over all the equipment. Got to play with this I remember this one specifically, this meter. It was it radioactive, and it was a beam, and it was like a thermal camera, but it had a beam on it that could reach super far through glass and find radiation. It was really cool though.
Yeah.
Point being, we get to experience really a lot of cool things that a lot of high schoolers or really adults don't get to experience because they never really try to reach that far into educating themselves about it. But I think it's a very good experience. Yeah.
How many kids are in your class?
I want to say roughly like 20.
Yeah, 20 in the class that just finished up. And some of them will be going on to the college level at FTCC, entering into the emergency management section or the fire protection.
Yeah.
And we also got a few that are going to do the EMT. FTCC has stepped up and opened a lot of doors for the kids to finish a lot of different things before they even step out of high school.
Now, when you finish the program in the high school, you get everything but Ops 9. Is that how it works?
Yes, sir.
So for the listening audience that doesn't know, basically we can't take a high schooler and put them in a burning building. So the final phase of Fire Academy is fire control. We used to call it fire control. So they finish high school, they get done, and then they get in with that. Are you volunteering somewhere?
Yes, I'm
Where you
at
volunteer at?
West Area Fire
Okay.
Department out there in Linden, 15, 20, 25. Been
Yeah.
there for about almost 2 years now, since late November of 23 is whenever I got on. So yeah, I've been there a little while now.
So the cool part, the county stations, they bring on folks when they're 16 a lot of times. Not always, but sometimes when they're 16. So then
I joined whenever I was 16.
Yeah,
That's
so
where I got on, yeah.
Once they turn 18, they finish high school. They can go and they can get that final block of training paid for, taken care of. And then they also get some college classes paid for, right? Isn't that how that works when they go to
Absolutely.
FTCC?
So FTCC, it's called the High School Connection, what Cumberland County has set up. So their junior and senior year, they can choose to go off campus at any high school and go over to FTCC. And it's not only the fire program they could take. We got kids taking welding, nursing. So the opportunity that Cumberland County schools provide is amazing for the students to be able to do, because some of our students aren't ready to go to a 4-year. They want to get into the workforce, and they want to get a certificate for a trade, and they want to go out there and start making money.
I had no business going to college. That's why I dropped out after the first year. I went to the first year. I don't want to say I wasted time and money, but it definitely, I should have waited. And that's, every student's different. Every student's unique, what they need and what they, we just hired one of your graduates last year. Caroline walked right out of the fire academy and into a job, basically. Timing just worked out perfect for her.
Perfectly.
We actually had
Absolutely.
one this year, Michael Lopez.
Oh, yeah, Michael Lopez.
He's on the list.
He's on the list.
He's on the list, yep.
He actually thought he was just going out there to see what it was like.
Ended up passing.
When he came back, he was like, do you know what this email means? And he goes, I think I made it through. So I said, yes, you made it through. So he went through the whole process, and he did make the list. Now, I think he's wanting to go to, he wants to still do that, but he wants to go get his drones and all that because he wants to fly for the fire service.
That's another thing we offer.
Exactly.
If he comes
So
works for us, that's
he's
something we
looking
do.
to go to Elizabeth City.
Okay.
And get his pilot's license and his drones. He's already got his Part 107. He can fly any drone you give him. So,
then we can't help him any. If he wants any further than that, then that's about what we offer.
but
so.
he really wants to, do more like with emergency management fires, part of the fire service, because he can go out there during disasters and stuff, and he loves to fly.
Now,
So.
if you do make it through and you come work for us, are you going to want to do online schooling as well through Fayetteville Tech? Or
I would definitely take my opportunity to
Yeah.
get some classes done. I know at some point in my life, I don't know when. I'm kind of just sparing myself the mental anguish right now, but I want to go get my paramedic at some point. I still need to go get my EMT, but at some point I do.
Keep that paramedic stuff, buddy. I don't want nothing to do with it.
I want my paramedic at some point because I want to. End goal is be a rescue medic. I want to end up leaving Fayetteville at some point in my life and settling down somewhere in New York, rescue medic.
Don't say that in your job interview.
Oh no! That's not going in my job interview. No, that's saying right here.
We'll
it'll
edit
probably
that
be
out.
way down the road.
Yeah, that's like wait, that's years.
Why New York,
years.
man? I don't trust anybody with a license plate on the front of their car. New York, New Jersey.
No, honestly, it's how big the fire service is down there.
Oh,
with
yeah.
FDNY, all that.
Yep.
Fire,
Up there.
up there. Yeah.
I grew up.
Everything's down there.
I grew
for
up
me.
about an hour from New York City in Pennsylvania. So
Fire service big up there. I mean, seems just like fun experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
And New York City, I like a city environment. It's a big city.
I did a 16-hour ride along in Manhattan on an ambulance when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Cool experience. don't want to do that every day.
Never.
Nope. I'm good.
Yeah.
The crazy that they see, like Fayetteville's busy. We're running 30,000 calls a year.
Yep.
We're a super busy city. But the stuff you see in New York, how many years of that can you take? I don't know. I don't know.
Before you become a call, literally.
Yeah. So cool. So one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk to you about, you were part of some of the kids that came and did our auto out program.
Yeah.
So what was that like getting out as a student, being able to interact with people in Fayetteville and the guys at the fire station? How did that all go?
It was, once again, an amazing experience. So for the first time, I was down there at Station 12, Hope Mills Road. I don't remember the exact shift or the people that I was there with at the time.
Yeah, it was Captain Williams.
Captain Williams, it was Captain Williams shift, Station 12. It was a great day. The crew was extremely welcoming. They were extremely nice. They showed me all around the station, showed me all their gear, what their daily routines like. I ended up cleaning the station with them. They were doing their chores. I vacuumed the living room for them. So no, I didn't sit there and do nothing all day.
He's looking at.
I did something.
Right
yeah,
now.
I am looking at it. But so we did the truck checks, making sure all the equipment checked was done. Then we got out and did the auto out. So it was great being able to go out and talk to the community and be able to explain to them the preventions that we're trying to input to help our community and show them that we are trying. That it's not just like, oh well, another one happened. We'll be there whenever it happens again.
Did you work with a fellow graduate from the academy? Was Maddie there?
Yes, Maddie was there. Maddie and
Madison Ludlam.
There was
I forgot
another.
she was part of your program. I completely forgot she went through your class.
There was another firefighter there, and he was pretty young as well. Just got on as the same as Maddie. Wasn't out of your academy, but he was a great guy as well. We ran one call, pretty eventful call, as a psychiatric. He was having a rough time.
Yeah.
And then we went from that one, did our auto outs for a few hours, ended up going and get some lunch, sat down. I had work that day, so I had to leave a little bit early.
Oh, yeah.
But then the next day, I went to Station 16. Once again, another great day. Met a bunch of great firefighters. Had a great time. Did auto outs. The special one about that ride along was I was supposed to leave at 5 p.m. And I ate dinner with them, got done, helped them clean the kitchen, finished around, I want to say 4:55 p.m. Started to say my goodbyes, grabbed my car keys, walked to the car, didn't have a call all day, not one single call.
As soon as you went to get in the car.
As soon as I got in the car, we popped a structure fire. And when we got there, that is probably the biggest fire that I have seen over video or like in person. It was blowing when we got there, fully involved. We had Pierce's Mill, Cotton, Fayetteville, obviously, Hope Mills,
This was
Vander.
at 16, so Vander.
This was at 16,
So
yeah.
Vander,
It was mutual aid with Grays Creek 24 out
Okay.
there off of 87.
Gotcha. That's why I didn't hear about it. I was like, how did I not hear about this fire? Because
It was
county.
big.
Okay.
It was a county mutual aid,
Yep.
but it was big. When we got there, it took us a little bit to get there, but even when we got there, it was still like there was fully involved coming out the roof. All the walls came down. They were doing what they could. Had as many hose lines as we could around the house, but there's only so much.
He's still got that excitement in his voice, Teach.
You noticed that he said he was leaving, and then he ended up on the call.
Yeah, I was the first.
go
I was
ahead
the first
He
one on the
ran
truck,
back
and
to
I
the
was
truck.
outside the station. But I got there. Even with me, just being a ride along, I didn't sit and watch.
Yeah.
I ran bottles, gave water. Just simple stuff of that nature, things that I can do without getting hurt. You know?
Yeah.
But I got to experience everybody work together. All these departments of guys that you may or may not talk all the time. These guys, they don't really stay in the same station as like Station 16. Those guys know each other like that. They stay with each
Yeah.
other. But then the beautiful thing about the fire service, in my opinion, is you can go work with some random guy they've never met in their whole entire life, and they know exactly what they're doing. They know their job. They know their assignment. No matter what, they're going to get the job done. And that's exactly what I witnessed that day. And I think that's why that was a great experience, to really see all these departments come together and do what I didn't even think was possible. They put the fire out. I thought we were going to have to let the thing burn to the ground. Like, it gets to a point, but, they put a stop to it after a little while of us being there, and we ended up being released, able to go back to the station. I got back to the house before I got called on another one, and then went to sleep. It was a great night. Great experience. Don't regret it at all.
Were the other kids jealous that you got to go to a working fire when they?
Oh yeah,
didn't?
it was really convenient. So the same day that I went to Station 16, at first, I can't even lie, I was a little like, oh, like, man, Station 16, like, that's like one of the little not busy departments, right? Like, they don't run that many calls. We had one going to Station 6, and we had one going to Station, I think, what was it, 5? Yeah, we had one at Station 6 and one at 5. I was like, y'all are going to be running all day, man. I'm going to be sitting here. They didn't run a single call all day, and then I ran a fire, so they were heated.
The thing about the other side of the river is if you hear building fire over there,
it's working.
Usually is. Usually is.
Because they had a fire literally, I want to say 12 hours before I got there that day, the same morning.
And it's not that they don't have more fires over on that side as comparison to anybody else. Not at all. It's just a different environment where you don't have the population density like you have in the city.
Exactly.
Where people see smoke and they call 911, which they should, 100%. If you see smoke, you call 911. But a lot of times it's not actually a house fire versus on the other side of the river. If somebody sees a big black column of smoke, it's probably a house fire before they call it in. So that's just kind of how it, just kind of how it falls out. But yeah, man, that's awesome. I absolutely love to hear that they were welcoming and all that.
Absolutely.
Jazz. So how have the other students responded? Have they had any good things to say?
I think all the students had a good time because they actually got to see, and most of them want to do this as a career.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now. A lot of them are going straight into it. I think there's about 8 of them that's going straight into it, and then some are going to go to school first. I think all of them enjoyed it, and all of them were tagging each other, going, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that." So when they come back, they seem pretty excited that they got to do it. Some will do it again. I got to put the message out that they can do some over the summer.
Yep.
I think they really enjoyed working, seeing how the project went from getting the data to where we needed to go, the demographic areas, and where we needed to install the auto outs. I think they liked seeing and being able to participate from the beginning to now we're putting them in.
Yeah.
Now they see what fire prevention is all about, taking data, what they learned in a fire prevention class, taking data from fire reports, seeing where the main fires are, who's starting them, where they're starting at. I think they really enjoyed that, especially Morgan. Morgan loved going from the
ate it up
from the beginning to the end. She's all about data. So she was like, can we look up the data? Can we do this? Can we do that?
So she's our future accreditation specialist is
right.
what she is.
Essentially.
Her and Haley and
those are some smart kids. Morgan and Haley, though, whenever it comes to data, I would throw everything their way. They know how to handle all of that.
And I think they all enjoyed it. I think everybody enjoyed being part of it from the beginning.
Yep.
From the time you came in and say, will you be interested? And from that point, it was like, well, let's see, let's run some data. Let's look things up. And then the 2 young ladies that come over, or 3, and was talking to them, they were asking them questions about how are we going to run the data and stuff, how are you going to find it. So I think you got a lot that's interested on all of it, but some are mainly interested in. They'd be good in accreditation.
It's the new millennium. Tech is it. Tech is where it's at. So it's not for me, but I get it.
Yeah.
But it's just like I tell them all the time when they first come in. You may not see what the fire service can offer you, but there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, when you retire, you can teach. If you got your hazmat tech, there's so many things you can do working in big businesses, working in these industrial plants and stuff. Just going out and being an advisor. I mean, a lot of guys have got their own company being advisors, going out there and advising fire departments on what to do. There's just so many opportunities and so many ways you can go in the fire service. Because I'll tell you, my first degree was not in fire. It was in sociology pre-law.
I went for broadcast journalism was what I went to school for.
So, I do have my degree in it now, but, law was my passion, and I still look that up, dealing with everything we deal with.
Yeah.
I like going researching cases that we've done in the past and relating them to now. What, could we use this in case something happens? So the kids are getting a broad taste of it, but because of the now ride-along programs that the city has, hopefully we can make it where they can stay overnight at a certain point. But the volunteer departments in Cumberland County are doing a fine job with the kids. We're sending them to them. They're taking them. They're training them up to what we're training them on and building up.
Me and Chief Johnson talk all the time about juniors he's got that he sees potential in, and you know, whether they go work for him full time or come to us full time, it's a win. It's a win for the fire service.
So I think, and you got a lot of instructors coming through there. We got a lot of guys from the city, a lot of guys from the county that work with us when we go to their stations, and just having the opportunity to take them around to different stations and letting them train. Allows the chiefs and their administrative staffs to look at the kids and say, hey, are you interested? Because we'll take you. And that's what we're looking at.
You guys spent a whole lot of time down at the new FTCC training center, too.
We
you used to come to us, and now they got that beautiful new building. You still do come to us. I mean, you were just there a few weeks ago.
We kind of split it because of what's going on. Like when we do ladders, we'll probably try to do both, because you guys got the Banger ladder out there at the old training center, and I think there's a Pomp Pier ladder out there that we want to show the kids. So we try to use both training centers. We use West Area's training building, and go to the different fire departments. We've worked at 24.
Stony Point's got a tower out back too, doesn't it?
We haven't been over to Stony Point lately because it's just so far out for some of the kids to get there. So we try to meet kind of close. We split it from this side with the training tower at FTCC on Tom Starling, y'all's, and then West Areas, because it splits the district so the kids can get there closer. But yeah, I appreciate everything that everybody does, because we have a lot of support, and I'm glad they're seeing that there's kids coming out of there that are capable of doing the job, and they're taking them on and, you know, expanding on their training.
Yeah, and the fire service in general took for granted for years that everybody wanted to be a firefighter. It was, what do you want to be when you grow up? Firefighter. Soldier, police officer, right? We took advantage of that for years, and now where the kids used to flood to the volunteer fire station, now we really have to actively reach out and engage the youth now, and more. We're seeing that. We're actively changing how we do things, but having your program and getting out and working with them, and being the active engager is really needed, and I think it's going great. We got a great partnership throughout the whole county with you guys, I think.
And Fort Bragg.
And
Fort Bragg is awesome. We just went out there and worked with them.
Nice.
With on their rescue building, their training building, and we did some rigging, Z-drags, and
we did
tripods and
confined space and trench rescue.
And this is good for you to learn, because if you do come work for the city,
I want to work rescue.
We work with all those people. I'm saying, like, the partnerships. We had Fort Bragg at our training center just the other day for hazmat training. We invite the county when we do our drills, our quarterly evolutions. So we're contracting with them and working with them. So you're getting to see that at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, it was but still young age, get to see all these things happen and this real life experience. You don't get that a lot anymore from a lot of people. So it's great to have this opportunity, and I think more people would be in it. And we're doing it now, and it's been on the come up recently, but I think it's just a matter of networking it out. I didn't become a firefighter until I turned 16, or associated myself with a fire department until I turned 16, because I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it until Caroline McMillan told me, hey, West Area Fire Department, you can work there when you're 16 as a volunteer, and you can come into this class and be fully certified by the time you graduate. Oh, wow, really? Next week, I was on both things. I had sent her a letter, and I was on West Area, finished my classes, got my gear, running calls. Yeah. Just as quick as that, and I think it would be just like that for a lot of people if I could just simply walk up to them and be like, hey, you a junior in high school or younger? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sign this paper right here, get certified, and choose any of, God knows, 20 different departments around here that'll take you at 16 and go work as a volunteer. Gain experience for a few years, and have a job right as soon as you walk off the stage. Yep. How many of them are really realistically going to say no? It's just they don't know about it.
I think it's just like you said. We got to change our thinking when we're out there promoting and getting these young kids in it, because they're all about IT, or, they want to sit and play video games. But, we got a lot of video gamers in our room now. But it's a get-up class. It's not a sit-down for 90 minutes. It's get up and do some training. I think that's what most of the kids like. They're not sitting in one place for 90 minutes. And then the instructors we're bringing in, Got a lot of good instructors coming in and teaching them. We got a lot of good instructors that volunteer when we're out there at their stations. And I will tell you, the support that we get for our program is unlike no other, because some of the fire academies throughout the state of North Carolina, they don't get the support that we get.
Oh, really?
So, you know.
We have a former employee with Montgomery County,
Casey
went to?
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery County, is that where she's at?
And she does pretty well.
Yeah.
Ours is a little bit different than most of theirs. We have to have the kids to apply. They have to apply. They have to turn in an application, resumes, reference letters, and things like that in order to get in. That's why we have a cap on ours. Others are just, they take them because we can only run one. Like for the fall, we're running Fire Tech 2, and for the spring, we'll run Fire Tech 3 and Fire Tech 1. So fortunately, that's the way they set ours up, and it's been working, and we get good quality people.
Nice.
And I'm not going to tell you everybody goes into the field, but I've had some that graduated out of the program like years ago that are now going into it.
It was 6 or 7 years before Datron Jackson, because he was one of your kids
Yes.
too, right?
Well, he was with Fred Curley at the
so
time.
he went off for 6 or 7 years
Right.
and did his own thing and then came back to us. So
and there's a
it's
lot of
planting those
kids doing
seeds.
that now.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is the shift schedule. I mean, how many jobs do you have where you can work 10 to 11 days a month and have the rest of the month off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can open your own business. You can do a lot of different things. You can just relax at home, do your honey-do list. I don't know.
And if you get in young, you can retire early. 49, I'm out.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's ups and downs, and there's days you won't do anything. There's days you'll run.
Yeah.
But, I kind of like what I'm doing now. I love the fire service. I'm still in it, volunteering, though. And I think that it's a good career.
Yeah.
And there's opportunities to get money for school. So that's what I look
If you get into fire service before you have your degree, there's no reason you should pay for your degree, at least not from a community college and a local university. If you're willing to go to a state school, you should not have to pay for that degree. There's so many scholarships out there and things available. So cool. Anything that I missed, my man?
I don't think so. Is there anything?
He graduates on June 3rd. A lot of the kids in the program are graduating
June 3rd and June 4th.
Different times.
When do you start
times.
EMT school?
Got to find a class, get into it. I got to look into FTCC because last time I looked on their website, it said high school graduate, didn't it?
Yeah, FTCC, you have to be a high school graduate.
That's cool.
So,
if you don't find one by late August, call me.
Okay.
And I got
Yeah.
you. We'll get you hooked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up.
But we are trying to get his last class done.
Working on
trying
Ops
to set
9,
up.
and then EMT will be next.
Cool.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming out here. Thank you for doing the ride-along program and the auto-out program and hanging out with our guys. And thank you for joining us for the Fayetteville Fire Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Radio Fayetteville on your favorite streaming platforms. Join us again next month, but until then, stay safe, Fayetteville.